important is it to you personally to restore the luster to this organization, and what are the most important things in doing that?
I think it's a vital motivational tool that we can use for us and our players to bring back respectability. And it's something that cannot be talked about. It's something that has to be earned. We have to earn it, night in, night out. And what we've tried to do is we've tried to focus on more of the process versus the result. If we continue to work as hard as we expect to, and the expectations of the individuals that are out there performing and competing, win their share of one-on-one battles, win the puck battles, the 50-50 pucks, block more shots, execute to a higher level in the games, and make less mistakes, then your chances of winning go up. But just talking about it is something that we have to walk the walk here.
Randy, you called your home record last year unacceptable. What's the difference between playing on the road and playing at home?
I don't know. In most markets, there's a comfort zone at home. And for the games that I was here last year for, we never seemed to develop that comfort at home. We seemed to be more nervous at home or less effective at home, whatever word you want to describe. In general, we played some good games here and up against some good teams, and we probably played as good as we could play, and we still didn't win, and that was frustrating for our group and frustrating for the coaching staff. We were undermanned in a number of situations where we lost bodies. When we first started back here, we were losing a player a game and a vital player. So we were understanding of that, but in some situations we were pretty flat. And I can remember a couple games that coaches like to forget about. They stick pretty evident in your mind. They're out there. And I think what we want to do is we're not talking about last year anymore. This is a new group, a new season, an opportunity for us to go out and play to our capabilities and do what we do best. They're hockey players. They've earned the right to represent this organization, and now is the time, as we did in Montreal, now we're at home. The distractions that are going to come with it, the opening ceremony, the introductions, all that has to be pushed aside when they drop that puck.
Does it help your group in terms of the nerves that you got the first one out of the way and you picked up a win before you open at home?
I think it's always better to win than to lose. I would hope they feel better about it, and I know as a coach you do. But again, it's management of that too. We won one game. And there's a lot of distractions that come when you open in your own building. There's a lot of things that are on the outside. I'm sure that there's a lot of people that want to participate with family, want to come to the game. Your uncle wants to come to the game. Your aunt wants to come to the game. You're worried about this. You're worried about that. Those are all distractions. And we have to keep that stuff outside of what our focus is. Our group is zeroed in on what we can control, and we can control how hard we play. We can control our effort, and our mental focus has got to be at the top of its game, starting when that puck drops. And I think it's scheduled to drop at 7:21 or something. I got the sheet, so there's 20 minutes of stuff that you got to deal with. But that's all part of playing in the NHL. Buffalo did the same thing. I saw yesterday they were signing autographs in the lobby of their arena. So everybody has to deal with what's dealt their way as far as the organization and representing them. And again, we're in a repair mode, trying to help and repair our relationship with our fans.
What do you remember about your first home game in Toronto?
A long time ago. That's all I remember. The first home game, I really look at it. I played every exhibition game at that time. I was 20 years old, and that's where Harold Ballard was rolling up the cash register. They play 11 exhibition games, and I played every one. So it wasn't like I was stepping. The transition was a lot easier for me. I was 20 and I wasn't 18, But once I had a decent training camp, but the first couple of games in the NHL didn't go that well, as I Probably was in the stands for the next couple.
Are you looking at any changes on the blue line tonight?
We'll make changes. We'll insert some people that didn't play the last game into tonight's game, and it's not a message of non-satisfaction or non-satisfactory play by some individuals. It's just that we've got 48 games to play, and we're going to have to integrate people into the lineup as we go. And we've got 4 games in 5 nights this week, so it's kind of like we better start to use some of your personnel, and we're going to have to make some decisions later on in the week if we have Jake Gardner coming back to us. We want to make sure that we give everybody that's here as much of an opportunity to make a contribution because they've earned it. And then there's another decision coming when Jake Gardner comes back.
Is that something you communicated to them, just so everyone's aware, or is it,
Oh, they know. Yeah.
Randy, what did you like about Ben Scrivens Saturday night, and what did you like about him in camp so far?
Scrivens looked sharp. I think the one thing about Ben Scrivens, the environment that was created the other night in Montreal doesn't faze him one bit. Just kind of like he's a goaltender. Here I am. I got to stop the puck. I'm going to do my best. Don't worry about it. Even though he fell down behind the net a couple times, or once, anyways. And he is a little bit of an acrobat at times, and I'm sure everybody in the building was feeling the same way. What the heck's he doing on his butt behind the net? But those things happened, and I thought what he was able to do is he got settled down. We talked on a timeout. Just, less might be better here in this situation. Try not to be clearing the puck and moving the puck as much as you were earlier. Just settle it down. Any chance you got to take a whistle, all those things just to calm the situation down as much as possible because, up until the third period, the last 10 minutes of the third period, we had outchanced them in every period, and we were doing a decent job keeping everything to the outside, but then we give up the power play goal and obviously got momentum, and it was a 2-1 hockey game, and we were, he was called upon to make some big stops for us.
Certain goalies you don't want handling the puck much. Is he one of those kind of guys? He seems to be a bit awkward.
No, I would say he's probably if you did a comparison of any of the goalies in our system, and including Reimer, Scrivens is the best puck handler we have. But I think at times he tries to play defense back there, and would like to eliminate that one. Just go to the back of the net, stop the puck, push it to the corner, move it to the safe play. Don't overthink it. Just make the easy play, and that's our message is sometimes, less is better.
Randy, you've had Joffrey before. What does he bring to this mix?
Well, again, Loops didn't have, and I didn't see eye to eye in years gone past as a type of player. He's a much different player than now than what he was then, and that's partly probably, A, I didn't give him the right situation or didn't put him in the right situation at that time, and B, he suffered almost a career-ending back injury, and he's taken a different approach to his preparation, both physically and mentally. And he's a much more complete hockey player today than he was 5 or 6 years ago. And he's not the only player that you can say that about. I think Loops has shown a tremendous amount of leadership, a lot of courage, and a lot of grit and determination to get where he is. And if you look at the line, and you notice, he's more likely to be the guy in front of the net taking the beating than the guy that's around the perimeter. And every mixture of line, of successful lines, needs people to do certain things, and he's prepared to do that. And he does it both on the ice and the little things off the ice. You can count on Loops to be the guy.
Randy, what's the challenge for some of your younger players in terms of maintaining performance over the course of the season?
Again, it's everything is magnified by tenfold here because of the shortness of the season. But with our younger players, just keep it simple. Don't get too far ahead of yourself. Expect the unexpected. Have a plan. Prepare yourself for some peaks and valleys, and you never really recognize the peaks. You always recognize the valleys as a young player, and just stay on an even keel. Do what you do best. We're not asking you to do anything more, but ordinary is not good enough for our group.
He's not one of your younger players, but first time around with the Leafs. Mike Koska, what are you expecting of him this year?
Well, I hope he plays as well as he played the other night in Montreal. Now he's in trouble because we're going to expect it every night.